This doctor only ate bad foods for 30 days straight, and it literally changed the way his brain works. And what happened to his body? UK doctor switches to 80% ultra-processed food diet for 30 days.
But that's a long time. You can see some really big differences.
He's dedicating his life to science. Here we go.
I'm going to switch from my normal healthy diet, it's pretty healthy. I eat about 20% ultra-processed food to an 80% ultra-processed.
Oh, he's gonna feel so bad.
That is the same diet. Sounds extreme, but it's the same diet that around 1 in 5 people in the UK eat.
I think also that the late night snacks really add up.
My first meal is a national favourite. Fried chicken.
It's really good.
He's not lying about the taste.
What makes it ultra-processed is the chemicals that are added, like monosodium glutamate, sodium phosphates, and spice extracts.
It makes it ultra-processed when they add a lot of chemicals. You truly feel completely different when you eat less processed food. We really feel the difference when we eat good food and bad food.
I eat these lasagnas the whole time because they're tasty. They are really quick.
I don't really like them myself. I never eat those, but I believe these microwave packages, they add an insane amount of chemicals to also make sure that you can use them for longer and not just one day.
The rules of my experiment are that I eat whenever I feel hungry, which is what I always do. But previously, that meant eating 3 meals a day with the occasional snack. Now, I find myself craving food much more often.
And that's because most of those foods are not filling.
They are actually sometimes making you even crave more food.
I'm entering week 2 of my changed diet.
When you read this very long list of ingredients,
That's a long list of ingredients.
it just makes you think much more deeply about, like, what am I tasting? What are they trying to get me to taste, and how does this all feel in my mouth? This is definitely what the scientific papers call... Sorry.
He seems like, hey, this challenge is like the best decision of my life.
Hyper-palatable. So it's just really, really, really eatable, delicious food. It's really hard to stop eating. I don't know what this is about. This is just a video of me not having a poo.
Probably that's happening because he basically got 0 fiber.
No fibers.
Most fibers come from plants.
I wonder if I'm going to get physically used to it so I don't wake up every morning feeling hungover because of the salt and the sugar and the...
So he is feeling bad.
I literally have that. When I've had foods high in sodium and maybe some fats, then the next day I don't feel bad, but I just necessarily feel like very dehydrated, very slow in the morning.
It's actually green on the traffic light system for saturates and sugars, so this has all the appearances of a healthy meal.
Some foods that look pretty healthy can still count as ultra-processed foods.
It has 20 grams of protein. All right, it's not good for an entire meal, but it's there's definitely worse.
And have multiple chemicals in the ingredients list.
High fiber. It's also protein.
So that bar that you saw there, that lots of people buy as a protein bar because they don't like the good protein bars.
5 grams protein and then they call it protein bars.
And they're very sweet. Maybe those really good protein bars with good macros may even be ultra processed as well.
I'm 3 weeks into my 80% ultra-processed food diet to measure how it affects my body. And there's only 7 days to go.
Time for some pudding, flavoured with delicious potassium sorbate.
You can really taste the potassium sorbate.
4 a.m.
4 a.m.
Just come to the kitchen, I can't sleep. Got a headache. I feel like eating more food.
He's literally hungry all the time. Results.
30 days completed.
Weight went up by 6.5 kilograms in 4 weeks. And then the body fat went up by 3 kilos.
There's a lot of water weight. Makes so much sense because he ate so much high sodium foods.
If the weight gain continued at that rate for 6 months, I would gain 6 stone.
1 stone is around 6 kilograms, so that means 36 kilograms in 6 months.
Next are my hormone levels. I'm particularly interested in the ones that tell my body if I'm hungry or full.
So they're gonna look at his hunger hormone and see what changed there compared to day 1. And obviously, if there's more of that, we'll see.
And what we found is that the hunger hormone in your blood went up by 30%.
So that's why I felt hungrier.
While gaining 6 kilograms. I mean, this makes so much sense.
You've got an increase in the hunger hormone and a decrease in the hormone that's telling your brain that you've eaten.
The first time we see him really in shock, because throughout this video, he seemed pretty, I wouldn't say positive, but pretty happy. He was like, I'm a good guy, and then towards the ending he was feeling a bit sick, but now we see him really worried.
Props to Dr. Chris for obliterating his health for the sake of science.
I think he can get back to his normal self pretty quickly.
Especially when he starts the 90-day challenge.
Finally, Professor Batterham wants to know if eating a high ultra-processed food diet has affected my brain.
Very interesting.
We've repeated the scan from a month ago to compare the results.
If we're gonna see a difference in his brain activity or anything within a 30-day time period, that will blow me away, that will scare me.
Blue is how areas of your brain talk to each other before the diet. And the red are the new functional connections in your brain after 4 weeks on the diet. So everything that's red is a new connection between parts of your brain that wasn't there before.
So far, he created new pathways. Sounds pretty epic.
I think it's something with the reward system.
Comparing these scans has revealed that my diet has linked up the reward centers of my brain with the areas that drive repetitive automatic behavior. So eating ultra-processed food has become something my brain simply tells me to do without me even wanting it. Shockingly, this is something you might see in a person with addiction.
If you just took people and scanned them at 4-week intervals, you don't normally see a bunch of connections change. That does seem to be a real result.
It's basically his brain is now transformed into something that is telling him, eat bad food. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
What would you say? A standard man in early middle age?
Yeah, that is you
That is you.
after.
I have the increasing man.
What? Yo! He looks like a different guy.
We normally don't say this, but he looks so much worse.
Yeah, it looks like he lost muscle.
This is terrifying, isn't it?
Children's brains are still developing and they're much more malleable than mine, which means the changes are likely to be even greater.
Do we have any idea what that's doing to them?
No. But the other thing is, Chris, I'm a mum, and when I look at what I've been feeding my children, then actually they were having quite a lot of ultra-processed food.
Really?
Even as an obesity expert, it's made me far more aware about what I'm actually giving my children.
Damn.
Oh, it's a good ending, but a bit of a dark ending.
This might be one of the craziest 30-day transformations I've seen, but then
in a negative way.
in a negative way. What?
This should be required viewing for everyone. The food industry needs to be put to the spotlight like tobacco was.
Yes.
Make sure to subscribe for more epic content. And click that bell.